What is up, guys? Spider-Fan19 here, and I'm back. Yep, finally, after about, 2 months, I'm finally back with this video. Well, I guess I made a video yesterday, but, or not, well, depending on when this goes up. Yesterday by the time when I'm filming this. But, in case you've been wondering where I've been rewatching all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies from Iron Man to Black Panther and then ranking them, or giving them, kind of ranking them, and then just to make this video for you guys to hype up Infinity War, which is coming out, well, tonight when I'm filming this. Again, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, probably tomorrow. But, okay, without further ado, first off, spoiler warning for the MCU in total. But without further ado, let's get into this with number 18, The Incredible Hulk. Now, this movie, it was kind of boring and slow, yet the character development was pretty good. It felt more like a character study than an actual, or than the typical, action movies or action superhero movies that we've grown to know. And then the cast is great. Edward Norton is a good Bruce Banner. Not as good as Mark Ruffalo, but, he's still pretty good. CGI is pretty decent, and then the action scenes definitely feel worth the wait. There are only 3 in the movie, so, again, yeah. And number 17 is Thor: The Dark World. It's a little more interesting, but the villain is extremely boring and forgettable. But the action is just kind of non-stop fun, sort of, I guess you could call it that. But yeah, the action is pretty good, and Loki definitely steals the show with this movie. Number 16 is Thor. Now, I feel really bad for putting it at this low of a spot because I enjoyed this movie. It was pretty funny, just kind of fun. The action scenes were pretty good. The interactions between Thor and Loki were great, just like the casting. And I completely forgot about Hawkeye's cameo in this. I kept thinking that Hawkeye's first appearance was in the Avengers, but I forgot that he was actually introduced in Thor a full year earlier. So, yeah. And number 15 is Iron Man 2. It's not as good as the other ones, but it's still pretty good. I was hardly bored with this movie, and the action was, again, pretty good. I loved the introductions of War Machine and Black Widow, and the best action scene was definitely the racetrack battle. It was the best scene in the movie. With that suit up, and the fight between Iron Man and Whiplash. Sure, it's kind of short, but still pretty good. And it's an all-around pretty good movie. At number 14 is Captain America: The First Avenger. Again, this is kind of like Thor, where I feel bad about putting it this low on the list, because it's actually pretty decent. I feel like once Steve becomes Cap, it goes pretty quickly, and like all the other MCU films, it has great casting. And then number 13 is Avengers: Age of Ultron. It's darker than the first, but it's still tons of fun. The action scenes are absolutely great, and the comedy is well timed. It sets up Civil War really well by building up the tension between Cap and Tony. So kind of the action scenes were just phenomenal. Best one was definitely the Hulk versus Hulkbuster. That was, again, the best action scene in the movie. At number 12 is Ant-Man. It's extremely funny and some great action, especially using size to kind of, with the Thomas the Tank Engine bit and stuff like that. I think that's pretty, just smart. And then Paul Rudd is a great Ant-Man. Yellow Jacket's kind of where I think the movie falls flat, though. It's just generic, evil businessman who wants to kill the hero because reasons. So then number 11 is Iron Man 3. It's pretty good. The comedy was well timed and introduced some of my favorite suits, like the Mark 40 and the Mark 42. The action scenes are awesome, and I liked how Tony developed over the course of the movie. The Mandarin twist was, I guess, I didn't hate it. I thought it was decent. I kind of like the Mandarin twist because it plays with our expectations. You think it's one thing, and then boom, ends up being another thing. And number 10 is Doctor Strange. It's great. Awesome action and casting, spectacular visuals, and well-timed humor. Where I find it kind of, I guess, where I don't really like it as much is after that first major action scene in the London Sanctum. It goes by way too fast. I wouldn't have minded a couple more scenes, kind of, in between those action scenes, building up towards the final battle in Hong Kong. And then I would still absolutely love a sequel, though. That would be awesome. And then number 9 is Spider-Man Homecoming. I feel kind of bad for putting it this, or kind of at this spot, because again, kind of my channel, SpiderFan19, Spider-Man, haha, play on words, or Spider-Man, SpiderFan19, play on words, ha ha ha. But it's still extremely entertaining and hilarious. Great action and awesome visuals. The casting is also phenomenal. Tom Holland's the best Peter Parker / Spider-Man. He's the best of both that we've had. Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man. And then Tom Holland is just kind of the best of both. And then the Vulture was one of the best villains in my opinion. Number 8 is Iron Man. It's funny, entertaining, and I never got bored while watching this movie. Robert Downey Jr. is great in this role, and the whole cast is just fantastic. It's truly a great movie. Again, we wouldn't have any of these movies without this movie. We wouldn't have our Spider-Man Homecoming, or Winter Soldier, or Thor Ragnarok. Never mind, actually. And then, so in number 7, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's just fun. The action scenes are great, and so is the character development. And it's also pretty funny, too. Yondu's death is still the saddest death scene in the MCU so far. And then, I actually remember I saw this movie about, 4 times last year alone. Not in the theaters, but, I saw it once in the theaters, and then 3 or 4 times, kind of, on DVD or on Blu-ray. And then, at number 6, we have Thor Ragnarok. It's extremely funny and just all around a good time. Cate Blanchett is awesome as Hela, and the Thor vs. Hulk fight scene is absolutely awesome. It's probably the most fun Marvel movie out there. And Korg is my favorite character personally. He's just hilarious. He's kind of he's just the comic relief. Well, everyone's the comic relief, really. Number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy. It's pretty funny. Great action and casting, and a great origin story for the team. It's definitely darker than I thought. I actually kind of forgot that the opening was Peter's mom dying, and some of the scenes were darker than I had remembered. And then it's also Thanos' first major role in an MCU film. Well, major, not major, but it's a bigger role than he's had. Till Infinity War, of course. And Ronan's a meh villain. He's kind of one of those villains. Number 4 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's awesome. Just awesome action, great story, and so influential for the MCU. Just great plot twist that shaped the future of the MCU. And I remember when I was going back to watching this movie, I'd only seen this once before for some reason. And I had completely forgotten how good it was, so when I saw it again, I was just blown away by just how great the movie was. At number 3 is Black Panther. It's just extremely entertaining and never boring. The humor was perfectly timed, and the villain is so good. And the casting is also great. Awesome action also. And I feel like they killed Claw off prematurely. I would have kept him alive maybe a little while longer, because he's such a big, major Black Panther villain. I would maybe like had him get away with, or when Killmonger was trying to shoot him, or kind of I guess they think he's dead, but he's really not. I just would have kept him alive. I've seen this 3 times already in the theaters, and I still want to see it a 4th time, just because it's so good. Number 2 is Captain America Civil War. This one's just truly amazing. Awesome action, great special effects, and awesome introductions to awesome characters, including Black Panther and Spider-Man. This movie, it's probably never going to get old. Just like that airport fight scene, it's never going to get old. It's just such a good movie. And then, number 1, you've probably expected this by now. It's The Avengers. This movie is absolutely perfect. The action scenes are amazing. The character development is pretty good. And just everything is great. I can't find any flaws. Just absolutely the best MCU film ever made. So good. So that was my that was my rank, or MCU films ranked. If you want a refresher, number 18 was Incredible Hulk, 17 was Thor the Dark World, 16 was Thor, 15 was Iron Man 2, 14 was Captain America the First Avenger, 13 was Age of Ultron, 12 was Ant-Man, 11 was Iron Man 3, 10 was Doctor Strange, 9 was Spider-Man Homecoming, 8 was Iron Man, 7 was Guardians 2, 6 was Thor Ragnarok, 5 was Guardians of the Galaxy, 4 was Captain America Winter Soldier, 3 was Black Panther, 2 was Civil War, and 1 was The Avengers. I had an awesome time rewatching all of these MCU films, and I would actually encourage you to do the same. So remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Maybe coming on Saturday. My next video is going to be an Infinity War review. So, yeah. Goodbye. That was the wrong. Goodbye.